What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. Tried to put out a video yesterday. I run into a lot of technical difficulties. Wasn't allowed to do screen recording of a certain area yesterday and run into quite a bit of problems. We'll get into that in just a minute. Okay. Smoke them if you got them. Anyway, guys, I'm going to step back a couple days. Y'all heard about the issue with Trump's plane, Air Force One, going to Davos, what do you call it, Davos, in Switzerland. He had to turn around and come back. They said there was an electrical issue. Then I heard there was a technical issue. Then I heard there was a mechanical issue. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, how it went on and everything like that, and we will never find out unless we know somebody there. But historically, that part of Long Island, which is the southeastern part of Long Island, has had a lot of incidences with interference with pilots and flights and everything, even with lasers being put in their eyes, electrical interference, jamming radar, and things like that. So this could have been a possibility of what happened, that they had to turn around, did whatever they need to do, and took off again. But it's going to remain closed lips about what happened. But I do speculate that there was an attempt on Trump. If you remember, you go back and watch the videos. I suggest you watch Penguin 6 and some others. After he got back, he was quite subdued. And even at Davos, he was quite subdued in his normal actions and everything. But we got a rather favorable decision. I don't know if y'all heard about that, the deal with NATO. And like Ukraine, the people of Denmark and Greenland are left out of the negotiations. It's just like they do with Ukraine. They're not part of the negotiations. So kind of a deal was made, and basically it says that the United States can put up bases and post or whatever, and they will have sovereign rights over that area that they take and claim or whatever use, and it would be part of the United States on another territory. It's weird how it works out, but guys, it's kind of strange, but we'll go more about that stuff a little bit more. Couple of things is, a lot of people are still blaming the Rothschilds for the banking system and all that stuff like that. And guys, I'm here to tell you right now, the Rothschilds are no longer part of the banking empire, the financial empire. If you remember, Jacob Rothschild died a few years ago. And then last year, I think it was, his brother, one of the last remaining active Rothschilds in the world, died mysteriously in a fire at his house in Los Angeles, or outside of Los Angeles. And also we had the Queen, which is also a legacy of the Rothschild Empire. So we have two of the main characters of the Rothschild Empire is gone, dead, and they're no longer influential around the world except in Europe. They lost their hold on the world, and a new empire is taken over, a new world order, if you will. The thing is, guys, a new world order is coming. It's happened several times before, over and over again, and it happens repeatedly. So it's going to happen, all right? And no matter what you want to do, it's a rebuilding of the whole thing. So it happens. It's going to happen. And I do see, again, telling you that I see three empires, three alliances building up that's going to control the majority of the world. China, Russia, and the United States. And you've seen the recent reports about what the land Donald Trump wants for his Make America Great Again campaign, which stretches all the way down to Central South America, from the North Pole. And we're going to get ready to go there. But anyway, the Rothschilds and the Queen no longer has any influence on the world. As you can see by the actions going on in England, they're going crazy ever since the Queen's gone. So it's kind of wild, and it's evident if you look at what's going on around the world. So anyway, BlackRock took over this place in the world. It's no longer a banking empire, it's a financial empire. It's no longer about money, it's about numbers on paper. And as we all know, BlackRock, State Street, Capital Group, or another one like that, and Vanguard, they kind of run the financial game in the world. People don't make moves, countries don't make moves unless they consult with BlackRock or one of the others. And by the way, all four of them, Capital, Vanguard, State Street, and all of them, they're all kind of intermixed and run each other. They're, it's kind of weird, one company is another company, kind of like the newspapers do. Anyway, that's the thing right there. So we can't no longer point our fingers at the Rothschilds, except to blame them, but they ain't running shit no more. They're gone. Their empire is over with, as well as the Queen's empire. So all this legacy stuff, you go around pointing your fingers at the Rothschilds, they're doing this. Well, they're dead. Okay, so they ain't going to do a whole lot going on. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into something else here, guys. I want to talk about Greenland today and other stuff going on. So we'll go ahead and end there. One of the things y'all don't know if y'all know about how big Greenland is. It's actually about 1/4 the size of the continental United States. It's 840, almost 840,000 square miles. That's 2.5 times, 3.5 times bigger than Texas. Alaska is about quite a bit smaller than it. But anyway, it's 1/4 the size of the United States, guys. It's 840,000 square miles, thereabouts, roughly. It's quite large, and it would actually benefit the United States to have this much land. Of course, you already heard about them wanting to expand into the Central South America. We're going to need room to grow, guys. Believe it or not, we're going to need room to grow. And this is part not just of the defense package and the mineral package, but control of land mass, also what's going on. Somebody mentioned that we're going into the Third World War. Yes, a global war, world war, whatever you want to call it. But it's planned out. And it's going to be much like, what happened after World War II. The division of land masses and control of land masses throughout the world to 2 or 3 nations, which was United States, UK, and Russia. Now it's going to be United States, Russia, and China. Mark my word, guys, it's going to happen whether you like it or not, and we're going to face a new world order. The big thing about this new world order, guys, I'm going to put this in, is the other day one of the chancellors from Germany, I don't know which one it was, maybe Trade and Ministry of Government or whatever, talked about that they was kind of whining, if you will, like Venezuela, Ukraine is doing, about they don't like this new world order, is exactly said. They're not really happy about this new world order, meaning, again, that the old new world order that everybody's talking about is going to come on. You remember that? It was all worried about it and all talking about the new world order run by the Rothschilds and the Queen and etc. and the Catholic Church and Israel and everybody. Well, there's a new world order coming on, and it's technocracy, of course, and Germany, Denmark, Europe is not included in the plan. They've been shuffled to the side, so their butts are really hurting about what's getting ready to go down because they're not part of the group. They're going to be included, but they're going to be controlled by somebody else, Russia. All right, mark my word, guys, this is going to go down. So anyway, going into today, what we're going to talk about. So let me flip this over here to the screen and bring up the first picture here. Well, this is Greenland right here, guys, as you can see and everything. That's big old Greenland there and everything like that. 836,000 square miles, coast to coast, north to south, east to west, whatever you want to measure. And right next to it is the North Pole. And you don't know, guys, you go ahead and go on your Google Maps or whatever you got, or Google Earth, and go ahead and look at it. But it's kind of right there against Russia and at the top of the Earth, supposedly. So anyway, right there is the North Pole. It zoomed out. I tried to do a show as I was doing the editing and everything like that, show you what's going on, and it didn't work. I was getting blocked by it, so we're doing screenshots. So there's the North Pole, guys, right there. There's a little mound of mass right up here. We'll see if I can see it here on the other picture. But right there's the North Pole. We've got this crack or the stitch or this mountain range right here. And down here's another land or rise in land. So it's kind of curious. And again, guys, I want you to notice something right there. Someone told me the other day that there is no more ice or anything else in the North Pole. It's all gone. And as evident by this aerial map, this is from 2020, I think it is. There is no ice here. But I think they're lying to us. So we'll go to the next picture here, guys. I want to show you something. There's this white line that goes from here all the way to here. And if I can show you again more of it, and goes from all the way from the North Pole all the way down here into the Bering Sea near the, let's see the next picture, this Rat Island chain, or that atoll or whatever it is that's right over here. It's even over here next to Russia. And that line comes all the way down to right here, almost to this stinger looking thing that's sticking out of this thing, like a wasp stinger or something like that. But anyway, you see that line right there. So we're going to go back here again to the next, back up here to the beginning. Right here's where it starts at, guys, in the Arctic Ocean, that circle around the North Pole. So I went ahead and zoomed in, guys. You kind of notice that it's a white line. Well, they say that's a stitch line. They say that's where the pictures didn't line up exactly and everything like that. So that's kind of important that they're overlaying these images. We know they use satellite imagery to line up and put everything out here for us to see. But I found that kind of odd like that. So we're going to zoom in and find out why. It is white and kind of bluish white if you look real close, guys. So we'll zoom in a little bit more. And look at there, guys. That's ice and snow. There's buildings in here, structures. You can see the outline right here, up through here. This is way up in the air. Don't forget how many thousands of feet up in the air it is. But guys, right there is snow and ice. Now this over here, you can see it's kind of blurred out. You know how the Google uses that blur tool, mask tool, to make sure you don't see everything. So we'll go ahead and go again. And here's another zoomed in image, guys. You can see pure, straight evidence of constructed items, buildings here, structures, man-made structures up in the Arctic Circle. Well, they told us there's no ice and there's no snow and it's all water. But here, guys, we see concrete evidence on Google Earth that they're lying to us about it. They're telling us that it's all melted, but it isn't. We have a mask, an overlay over Google Earth, just like I was talking about. They use that blur tool, that mask tool to hide things from you. The governments and certain businesses can ask for this to be done and get it done. So wow, guys, how about that? Even here, again, guys, we got more evidence of more structures, more buildings in the Arctic Circle. I am just a little bit south, according to the way I was looking at it, south west of the North Pole. And here we've got, again, more evidence of buildings and structures. This is a different place right here. And it comes to an end about right here. And there's blue, dark, deep blue, like deep, dark blue water, like ocean, open ocean. Kind of strange that that white stuff right here ends. There's structures right here, and then the snow stops and the water starts again. Go again and see how long this blue line is. Oh my gosh, it goes all the way across to here and starts up again in white. We'll go again to the next picture. As you can see, this white line, which starts up again on the other side of the blue, deep blue water, is again filled with white and blue ice caps, mountain peaks. You don't get this kind of blue from just surface structure. As you go in, guys, you can start seeing that it's got mounds, like mountains and hills of ice and snow covered all over the landscape up through here. They are lying to us about there's no ice and there's no snow in the North Pole, in the Arctic Circle. Again, more evidence showing you that there is ice and snow on the surface, on the ground, in the Arctic Circle. Again, more pictures, guys. You can see that. It looks like blue ice. The coldest ice that there is, the purest, cleanest, coldest ice that you would get at a very cold place like the Arctic Circle or the Antarctic Circle, South Pole. The line starts breaking up. We start getting more evidence of water growing here, coming in, and the ice and the snow's breaking up like it would do on a shoreline as you're going away from the center of a snowmass. We've got more white and snow. There's a blacked out area right here. I could not figure out what it is, but it's too symmetrical to be nature. It is man-made. There's an overlay within the overlay, under the overlay, covering out whatever this, I guess, just in case somebody like me, you, or anybody else can see this image and go in and start seeing what's really there. Next image. We come to the end of the white. There's a little bit of mix of blue right here, and we start seeing a smatter of snow-capped or ice-capped peaks, mountain ranges. We've seen them in the pictures, guys, in the Alps and everything like that. And here's just another image of it on the water. Deep blue water, ocean water, Arctic Ocean, clean blue water. Here we go to the other side. There's a landmass between the breaks in these lines, guys. There's a blue line right here. And if you go further towards the Arctic Circle, the blue line picks up on the other side of an island. So anyway, it starts up here. Here we've got another overlay inside of it, underneath an overlay, underneath another overlay, and another one. There's something going on here, guys, that they don't want us to see. They got overlays or mask within mask within mask. There's something going on up there at the Arctic Circle. I'll pull out again, guys. This line starts fading out as it gets closer to the Atoll Islands, Rat Islands up there in the Aleutian Islands area. It starts going that way. Right there, you can see it right here in the Bering Sea. That stinger-like thing right there, it goes straight to it. And this is where the United States has outposts on these islands right here. Rat Island, I think it's Rat Island, whatever it is, I might be wrong. But it's this one outpost right here is right there. And these are all controlled by the United States military. So, guys, we can go in and look at it. There's nothing really there to see except that it ends. I think I've got some more pictures on it. No. What I wanted to point out, guys, is we're told that Siberia is cold and everything. It's covered with snow, ice, so many feet deep. What the hell? It's green as the African plains. What's going on here, guys? We're being told one thing and we're seeing another. Siberia is green. It's not covered with ice. In fact, I looked around and the only place I could find ice was this area right here. So I zoomed in and checked it out. It's a village over here. And right here on these mountain peaks, that's the only place here where the snow and ice and everything else showing up is on top of these mountain peaks, which tells me that there is snow and ice there, but not like we've been told. The permafrost is melting and thawing, guys. Again, more snow and the ice on the peaks. Here is the Antarctic Circle, guys, South Pole. And the reason I want to make a point about this is, if you know about the Earth orbit, you know we're tilted on an axis. And during the summer, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the Earth, and the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the Earth. And during the winter, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and the southern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. Therefore, we balance out the temperature, and then also we balance out how much ice and snow is being melted. But as we've seen in in Greenland and the North Pole, they say there is no ice. But at Antarctic Circle, there's a shit ton of ice. So what I'm telling you guys is they're lying to us about stuff right here. Let me go back here a few pictures. This is South Pole. Go back up here to the very beginning of all. I'm sorry. There. Now, where am I? This is the North Pole. Now, I should have showed you that there's a white line right here depicting that perhaps there's snow and ice underneath this mask that they put over everything. You know how good Google is at masking and overlays and everything like that to hide stuff. I'm proposing that this whole thing right here, because of this one mistake that didn't cover up, proves that this is still full of ice and snow, just like we've been told before in our past. Now, why would they do that? Well, because it supports the global warming, the climate change stuff they've been putting out. But this, if it's true, and I do believe it is, about these lines right here, these stitch marks that they didn't fill in, that proves that there's snow and ice underneath here, all over. It is not open water like they say. And so that's why, well, part of the reason why the United States wants Greenland and control the North Pole. Over here is Russia, up here's Finland, and down below that is Canada. So there's something about this. Another thing is, guys, if you notice right here that Greenland, as they say, this whole area, I'm saying, is still covered in ice and snow. In the south, there is another cap, or whatever you're going to call it, that's full of ice and snow. And that's the two regions in the world, guys, it's always got ice and snow. So therefore, I propose that they are connected. It's come out the other day, someone mentioned this, I've just found out, and maybe other people knew about it, that there's an alien technology type device or ship underneath the snow and ice in Greenland. Same thing we heard about Antarctica. So are they the two things that regulate and control the temperatures and everything else, or whatever else that could be going on. But I do say that the North Pole is still covered in ice, and they're lying about it because it helps with their climate change, their global warming theory, and supports them to keep poisoning us. So we got that, guys. Let me switch this back over here and get out of this a little bit. And there we're back. So that's what I got to say about this, guys. I think we've been lied to about the polar caps, about the coverage of ice and snow at the North Pole and versus the South Pole, because logic tells me that if both of them are tilting equally towards the sun and away from the sun at certain parts of the year, and they stay there, well, both these damn places would be melting at the same rate. But yet, they say the North Pole is empty and the South Pole is full. And one other thing that supports this evidence is, guys, they said that if the North Pole melts, we'd get flooded, and coastal plains be gone and stuff like that, all the coastal areas be flooded. But yet, we actually are showing a loss of water on the coastal areas. There is no significant rise of coastal water on the coast anywhere. So, what do y'all think? You tell me in your comments below, do you think they're lying to us about what's up there in the Arctic Circle? Is it still covered with ice and snow like I kind of showed? Or what do you think? What are they lying about? Y'all have a groovy day. And again, I know it's colder than hell, but reach out and do something nice for somebody. And if you're stuck at home, smoke them if you got them. Later, taters.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.